I'd like to show you my Monarch Waystation that I've created to help support the monarch population. Recently, you may have seen on 60 Minutes, Anderson Cooper visited one of the monarch sanctuaries in Mexico City. I too have visited one of the monarch sanctuaries this past February, and truly an amazing experience. I highly recommend it to anyone that has the desire to do that. Monarch butterflies have lost habitat and food sources due to climate change and urban development. But something you can do as a home gardener is create a dedicated space in your yard, your garden, for the monarch butterflies. You don't have to register it like I did, but this seemed really cool to me. When you go to Monarch Watch, you can find all the information for creating a Monarch Waystation, and you can even pay to register it. Your Monarch Waystation will show up on a map. Of course, there won't be any identifying information. Don't worry. No one's going to find your Monarch Waystation and show up in your driveway. The size of a Monarch Waystation should be around 100 square feet. This is not 100 square feet, but your Monarch Waystation does not have to be all in the same spot. I'll show you two other areas of my yard that I have dedicated to planting for monarchs and other pollinators. Over here is another area I'm working on for the monarchs. I have chosen to lay down a 3 to 4 inch layer of soil on top of wood chips where I sheet mulched, and I have spread a Save the Monarch mix from True Leaf Market. You can see over here I've got some butterfly weed that is coming up from last year. Another area of my yard that is going to benefit the monarch butterflies is this, what I'm calling a pollinator pocket prairie. While not specific to monarchs, this pocket prairie is going to benefit all pollinators, monarchs included. I have decided to sheet mulch this entire side yard that was turf grass. I've left a little pathway for walking, and I am growing the front half completely from seed with native plants, and the back half, instead of trying to grow from seed, which I have found to be extremely slow and honestly a little bit frustrating, I am partnering with My Home Park, and they have provided plants for me to plant. So these are some relatively established native plants that I am able to pop in the ground, and hopefully I'll see the results of this pocket prairie a lot faster than I would if I were to grow the whole thing from seed. When it comes to this area, I chose raised beds only because we have a lot of utility lines running through here. So I needed a place I could plant without digging into those utility lines. I have two 3 by 6 foot beds, and I filled them hugelkultur style, which in hindsight, I would not do again. I like hugelkultur style bed filling for annuals because your soil level is going to shrink as all of those logs and sticks and green material in the bottom of your beds as they decompose, and you're going to need to top them up. But if you're planting perennials, like I am for my Monarch Waystation, when that soil level sinks, so do the perennials, and then adding a bunch of soil on top, that's not ideal. Then they're planted too deep. If you want a recommendation for how I would fill these beds if I were to do it a second time, check out the caption for my favorite bulk soil veggie mix and compost from Soil Cube. Another thing that a Monarch Waystation should do is it should provide shelter. So what I chose to do was start all of this from seed and plant it super dense, because after it starts growing up, then I can come in and thin things out so that things aren't competing too much. But when it's super dense like this, it's going to provide great shelter for the monarch butterflies and other pollinators. What I would argue is the most important thing for your Monarch Waystation is actually two sources of food for the monarchs. A source of food for the monarch caterpillars and a source of food for the monarch butterflies to help fuel their journey. You can accomplish this by planting milkweed, and there are a lot of different varieties of milkweed. Milkweed has a terrible name because it is not actually a weed, and there are lots of varieties of it that come in different colors that are suited for different areas of the country. You can find your native milkweed. So the milkweed is your food source for the caterpillars. Milkweed is the only food source for monarch caterpillars. Let's put a little asterisk on that. I think there's like one other plant that they might eat, but are you really going to search that out to plant it? So for the ease of this video, let's just consider milkweed as the only food source for monarch caterpillars. So you absolutely have to have the milkweed, because if the monarchs visit your garden and there is nowhere for the mothers to lay their eggs because there's no food source for their babies, then they can't reproduce. The second food source is for your monarch butterflies. They need nectar from nectar producing flowers to help fuel their journey. And depending on when the monarchs are coming through your area, you're going to want to plant flowers that are blooming spring through fall. So for me, the monarchs typically show up in August and September. So fall blooming flowers are especially important for me to plant. I found this book, 100 Plants to Feed the Monarch by Xerces Society, to be so helpful when I was trying to figure out what to plant in my Monarch Waystation. You can see pictures of the plants because maybe you don't like certain colors and you want to plant all purple. Help you find what's native to your area, which honestly can be kind of difficult sometimes and very confusing. I purchased the majority of my seeds for my Monarch Waystation from Prairie Moon Nursery. They have a great selection of native plants that you can grow from seed. I created this Monarch Waystation in 2022, and I had my first monarch show up in 2023. What's great about planting a Monarch Waystation and using natives is that all of these plants, they come back every year. I planted them once and I've never had to plant again. Native plants require less water, they're drought tolerant to your area, they require less maintenance, they support the local ecosystem and wildlife, and all of your native pollinators. Planting for the monarchs to help support them doesn't have to be as involved as creating a way station, though. Just dedicating a small spot in your yard and planting milkweed and some nectar producing flower plants that are ideally native and definitely not sprayed with any pesticides, especially neonicotinoids, which are systemic pesticides that stay in all the tissue, pollen, nectar of the plant. And then when a pollinator eats from that plant, they are ingesting those pesticides and typically will die. So being no spray in the area where you're growing for monarchs is super important. It's a good idea to plant at least 25 milkweed plants. And I know that seems like a lot, but female monarchs are going to sample the milkweed before they lay eggs on it. They are going to taste it. They're going to make sure that it's going to be a good source of food for their babies. And typically they will only lay one egg per plant because they don't want older caterpillars to eat the younger caterpillars. If you have 25 milkweed plants, you really ensure the chance that you have lots of monarch caterpillars able to hatch in your yard. Some of the plants I have in my waystation are anise hyssop. I have a random hollyhock that I did not plant that for the monarchs, but the bees love it. Got purple coneflower that is about to bloom. I have penstemon. Back here is wild bergamot that's not blooming yet. I have mountain mint. I have milkweed. I have yarrow. I have agastache. There's some agastache. I have asters, blazing star.